They want to know if you've ever been breached.
No, we have not.
Well, they said they're secure.
Everything they have was.
Well, and I was just going to say, one of the other things to remember about this is, short of maybe occasional confidential items, all the rest is public information anyways.
Yeah. No, I was thinking more about the executive stuff and
Yeah.
about bids.
Yeah. And
Right. Those are the two areas that I was maybe concerned about. And I don't know that these kind of companies get breached, but obviously every other data company out there, especially if it has credit card information, gets breached pretty regularly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, again, I think probably for the reason, I don't know how many people in the world are too interested in breaching public information.
Okay. Other questions?
Anybody have any else?
Oh, we do have one.
What's the implementation timeline? This is the move forward.
We're going to talk about time. As far as the timeline goes, that would be part of the contract, and obviously depends on when the contract gets approved. You guys have a typical timeline for implementation?
Yeah, it ranges from 45 to 90 days, and most of that's dictated by the speed with which you folks choose to move.
45 to 90 days is what he's saying for implementation. I would like to mention there was another jurisdiction within Illinois that went with IQM2, and they decided to alter their business process along with the implementation of this system. They took a little more time to do it, and then they changed their mind and decided they wanted their original process, and IQM2 accommodated that. And so they have demonstrated their willingness to follow up with substantial changes in implementation at no additional cost. We have local evidence.
Do you envision, if we move forward with this, running parallel for, say, 1 or 2 months, so we're still on the paper and this?
Absolutely.
We did it.
We're not cutting that cord until.
I don't know, whether you're when you go through system implementations or whatever, it's typical to run parallel systems. With something like this, though, is there a time frame that is normal? Is it, 30 days, 90 days?
I think what's normal is what you're comfortable with in that case, as county board leadership.
Michael, yes, sir. If I may, on that issue, this is not just county board office. This is enterprise software. It affects every department in the county. So I think the response to your question, it's going to be the time that it takes to get everybody up to speed and have this thing running without a hitch. And I don't want to put an artificial date on it.
Basically, when you're comfortable with not getting a hard copy.
I know that we saw that individual calendar on the left, but is there another kind of whole calendar function to this? Group calendar?
I think I know where she's going. She and I have a couple of activities that go on besides being on the board. And we have calendars that have multiple agendas on them, and you're wondering if we can incorporate it all into one calendar?
And the calendar that we're looking for, or are you looking for a calendar that covers all board activities? That identifies all the committees.
Not just the ones
When
you're
we were
looking at.
navigating, I just saw something that said calendar, I thought, and so I was just wondering if there was a feature that was more than just individual meetings that were coming up like that.
Okay, I'm going to ask them the question. If I am not asking it the way that you intended, then you please speak up. I think what they're asking is it possible that when they look at the calendar, that they also use this as a calendar for all of their activities, all their county activities? So is their calendar individualized or capable of being individualized?
The county as a
We're
whole.
incorporated with, capable of doing that, depending on, we're capturing
One of the other team.
those boards.
You talking about all committee meetings? Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not speaking. Yes, I know what you meant.
You can put it all, okay.
He's trying to answer, sounds like he's trying to answer, and then we'll come to you, Reed, but he's trying to respond.
The response was yes.
Reed had his hand up first, and then we'll come to you. Reed. Reed had his hand up first. Go ahead, Reed, and then Chuck, and then Jackie. Go ahead, Reed.
Will I get an operator's manual? Will I get an operator's manual?
Google.
They want to know if there's an operator's manual. You know, is there a good solid help function? I will also say that when we distribute devices, yeah, there is a help function. But when we get those devices, we will be doing training for iPads and iPad usage or whatever device you need. Okay, if that's not the device, if you choose not to have one.
Yeah, I like a manual. When I want to do a particular function, I can look it up and go step by step. If I want to retrieve an agenda and know how to make little notes, I can look at the step by step to do it.
Is there good training materials? I think is the
Yeah.
question.
There's a help function that's.
So they're asking about training materials and documentation going forward, so that they will know the process necessary to do something if it's something they don't do commonly.
That's great. Great question. We have obviously full, if somebody so chose, full paper-based training manuals. We also have cheat sheets by function. We also have knowledge-based articles and quick and easy tutorial videos, as well as calling out. So we tried to cover all the mediums that somebody is comfortable using.
And so it's nice to have some.
Right now, all to you. And if you go to our, Mike, you want to quickly go to our website. There's one way to access a lot of training materials, videos.
Yeah, videos for everything. We have the videos, step-by-step tutorials, full downloadable manuals, whichever you're more comfortable with. All the videos are narrated, as well as having a lot of direction built into the text. See here,
Do they customize those when
And
they
also,
customize our
one of the things
videos?
people like to do, we have a cheat sheet that, there's a function, that's a good point, there's a function that you don't do often, we just present a quick cheat sheet or quick thing there.
And will we get those customized to our unique processes when necessary?
Yes, when that's absolutely.
How about will we get them designed to
How long will it
reflect our
take?
use?
How long will it take to get them customized after our forms have been
How long to
established?
get them customized?
It's not long, because while you guys may think you're really, really unique, Mike, what would you say?
Well, I take offense to that.
They're gonna be probably be about, because you've got a lot of experience. Yeah, between the page, Kane, and all that.
But even across the country, I mean, the reality is you guys, from California to Maine, counties, they call things differently, they may do things a little bit differently. So we've found that the fundamental overall process is pretty similar.
So before you proceed,
Maybe, Mike?
Jackie had a question. Do you still have your question, Jackie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then Chuck. Go ahead, Jackie.
Just on the calendar feature, I get that you're going to put all the county activities on there, but I operate with several different agendas, so I use an Outlook calendar, Outlook 2013, that syncs with all my devices and all my different agendas. Is that something we can do with this, or are we just, this is the only way we're going to get it? We can't put anything else on.
Can you push to an Outlook calendar?
I don't know the answer to that, Mike.
You do not know.
Mike?
Not sure.
I don't know.
We have ours and
You
push
can't
it
hook up to Outlook on anything.
No, I'm not sure about Outlook push.
It has RSS. So
Why don't we get, Mike, you want to show us the RSS feed, maybe, and then kind of what some people can do?
Because, I use Outlook, webmail, Office 365 webmail, and that calendar syncs with all of my devices. It even will sync like my Gmail calendar to it, whatever calendar I ask it to sync, so.
I mean, that should, well, let's get the answer to that question. I mean, it would be hard. Nobody's ever asked that before. I mean, technology-wise, it wouldn't be that hard.
And then, along with that multiple device, that is another part of my question. Is this software usable? Like I have a laptop, a desktop, and an iPad. Can I use it on all three?
yes.
At the same time? I don't have to, choose one over the other?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Jackie, because if you forget to log out of your desktop at home,
Right.
and you come into the county and you
With
want to
my
log
iPad.
into your account on your iPad, are you going to be able to be in 2 places at once?
I can do that with my webmail, but I don't know about this system.
It'll let you do that.
Okay,
I'll let you do that.
I can personally attest that it will let you do that.
cool.
Chuck, Chuck has a
This is
question.
actually for the state's attorney.
So-called multitask. Focus on one thing at a time.
There you go.
Okay, we're trying to catch up with the millennials.
There you go.
This is a question for the state's attorney. Going into a cloud-based operation like this, where we are going to be accessing county data that's FOIA-able, how is this going to impact, and should we be using private machines to collect and observe this data, or should we really have a single Unity public machine that we use so that, you know, we're not subject to other FOIA issues?
I'm not 100% sure what you're asking, but if you're asking if it's FOIA-able, if it's used on a personal machine, the answer is yes, it is.
And what about all the other stuff that's on that machine?
Well, that you would arguably would be personal and private unless you're dealing with county business, so it would be exempt. But that's not to say you wouldn't.
But it's an arguable
It is-
offense that someone could go in and say,
It's arguable that you would be required to send it, if there were an appeal to the AG and they said, we want to see the data to see if in fact you have turned over everything you should have, arguably you could be forced to send all of it, and then the Attorney General would agree that, yes, this is personal. So, but that's, you know, potentially the case whenever. If you ever use your personal devices for business, then yes, you have that now.
but to my point, I think if I can go in and say that I have a machine that is county provided and I do nothing else on any of my other private machines, iPads or anything, web-based or not, then I'm not handing over those other machines. I'm just handing over that county machine.
I would expect that would be correct, unless there was some evidence otherwise.
Thank you.
Any others? Any other questions? All right. Any final, Mike? Doug, any final?
Pricing?
Price? How much? Yeah, let's talk about pricing a little bit.
Do you know what the exact price is for us, Doug and Mike, the monthly cost?
I don't have that in front of me, Mike. Let me just,
We've got it. It's $2,000 a month, roughly.
Beth has about 2,400 a month.
2,400.
2,400 a month.
And that cost is being split between Forest Preserve and the county board.
Did you all hear that?
Yes.
What about the guy in the red sweater back there? I'll talk about these. I'll talk about these. We have one more question. Ken, do you have a question?
Yes, when will the iPads become?
Say it loud, say it loud.
When will the iPads become?
As we start the configuration, we have 5 iPads we'll be distributing. $1,990 a month, and then that's split in 2 between the Forest Preserve and County Board.
Okay.
We have 5 devices that we've purchased. We'll be distributing those.
That doesn't include
Yeah, that doesn't include the devices. That's only the service.
Right.
We'll be distributing those 5 iPads to people to test as we do the configuration, make sure things are working out, and then when the County Board and/or Forest Preserve decide to go ahead with that purchase, we would do so. Those are under the threshold for individual pricing. I'm assuming that's the same for the Forest Preserve. Yeah, so those don't have to be bid. We can, if the County Board and Forest Preserve money have money appropriate for those, they can simply purchase them at that time. It takes about 3 days to get them shipped, and we'll have to set up a session for training. We'll have to get your iTunes account set up. We'll have to get you logged in and set up as confidential users and train you. So that'll be a whole separate meeting, and much longer morning, hopefully involving donuts and coffee.
There's an additional cost because it's a satellite.
Oh, yes, and that is absolutely correct. The devices that are the current recommendation also do have cell data service, so you can use them anywhere. You're not dependent on Wi-Fi, so there will be an ongoing monthly cost associated with the phone bills. We're hoping to absorb that into the overall cost of, the overall data cost that we already have in place.
Mike, let's take Steve Ballard's question. Steve?
How much are we paying right now for paper and postage? You know, so I can have a comparison on the cost that it's gonna cost with your system and what we're doing now.
Steve, we actually did that some time ago, and we'll have to pull it. But it's much more than $2,000 a month.
I didn't know.
And that doesn't include the airtime.
The average county board member on our side gets about 1,100 pages a month. And plus postage for those typically are 4 or 5 packets. So, and a lot of times those have to be mailed priority or.
I was just asking.
Like that.
You know, I mean, it's
Most of that time it's so bad stuff.
comparison is a big question.
The 2,000, I mean, from a service standpoint, we're talking about just storage. We're not, it doesn't take a lot to store. We're not storing videos. We're, very few in the way of JPEGs and stuff, so their storage costs are very low. My question is, for that amount of money, all the support that they're talking about becomes interesting business model. Because if you're talking about setting up all our forms, it's going to take probably a couple months to do stuff like that. You're talking about creating training materials and then a 24-hour support line. Is there any, and going back, if we need things changed, we're not changing them, we're asking them to. Are there additional costs that are tagged onto that on a per hour, per date, or per project rate?
Nope, we wrote it all in.
Any other questions?
Outside of those numbers that Mike just shared, there literally are no additional costs.
Okay, good. Everybody hear that? Wrote it all in. All right, any other questions? Doug Eaton, thank you so much. Mike Shea, thank you all so much for your presentation on this morning.
Thank you.
All right, no announcement, no